Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director, David Riggleman. Coming up on this program, thousands gather to celebrate Las Vegas' birthday with a parade reverse style. And we show you a big cleanup at Floyd Lamb Park to celebrate National Trails Day. To talk about all this and a whole lot more is the councilwoman who represents Ward 6. You know who it is, Michelle Fiore. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
I am good. I am good. Busy, but you know what?
You are
Great.
busy. You are busy. We got a packed show here. Tons going on. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Things are opening up again, and as a result, yeah, we're a lot busier. I mean, you were never not busy, but it's just, yeah, things have really picked up. And I think people have probably noticed we're actually sitting in our normal places, not like clear across the room.
Everything is back to normal, basically.
We're getting there, exactly. Is this behind us, do you think?
I do. I believe it is behind us. Our numbers are greater than we anticipated.
Yeah, the tourism, yeah.
And I'm very excited to see the airport's packed, the restaurants packed. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing last couple of weeks.
Clearly, people are really ready to get out and get on with their lives again, and we've seen that with the tourism. As you're talking, you're on the LVCVA, the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority Board. You've got your hand on the pulse of this, and yeah, the numbers are very, very encouraging right off the bat.
It's amazing. It's amazing, David. We just cut the ribbon on our convention center to expand. It's just amazing. We're ready. We're ready and we're geared up, and we're ready to welcome 52 million tourists this year.
All right. That's a good goal. You know Ward 6 very well, as I mentioned. For those of you out there that don't know exactly where Ward 6 is located, well, don't worry. We're going to show you. It's right there on the map. It's right at the top of the valley. If you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And, of course, if you're a resident out there, you're represented on the city council by Councilwoman Michelle Fiore. And that area of yours is growing again. We're seeing,
growing.
yeah.
It is growing. And I'll tell you, our constituency, because we are always listening,
You are.
There are some things that developers will come and approach the council, and the constituency says, nope, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put that near our house. And they really have a voice. And so Ward 6 is active. They're activated. Their voices are heard, and the council listens to them and votes their way.
That happened at the last council meeting, in fact. There was an issue about a facility that wanted to be built near our neighborhood, and not just you, but your colleagues supported you, and it was unanimous no.
Yeah.
So it was just not compatible.
It was not compatible. And for our neighbors to come out, and our neighbors, range, the folks that came out, we had about 6 folks come out, they range anywhere from 40 to 80. They came out, they had their voices heard, and as their councilwoman, it is my duty to represent them, and so we denied the application because that's what the neighbors wanted.
Yeah. All right. That's the way government's supposed to work, right?
That's the way it's supposed to work.
Right. It's a republic, right? You're representing the people. That's good. Well, Councilwoman, you were busy since you were on the show 6 weeks ago. I want to tell everybody, we're going to get started here. We're going to run out of time. But you posted this on Facebook. You said, "What a weekend. We recognized our heroes on the front lines. Councilwoman Olivia Diaz and I joined the Las Vegas Days Parade, which started in the 1930s. And then we went to preview the city of Las Vegas, the 30s, and that's a documentary." So you had a busy day. That all took place back on the weekend that is Las Vegas's birthday, right around May 15th. And so you recognize the heroes on the front line. So I think this is what we're looking at there.
We were at Centennial Hills Hospital. And through the whole COVID, our office visited all the hospitals through the valley. And we gave them food and just thank them because remember, they take care of the sick, period. They take care of the sick. And they put themselves at risk every single day, and we just wanted to thank them. Yeah, that was great. And hey, you were busy that weekend because then you and Councilwoman Diaz were in the Las Vegas Days Parade, and this was really something because it was a reverse parade, folks. First time we did that because of the pandemic, where the entries of the parade were stationary, and then the spectators drove through. Right,
so
a
little backwards, but here you see kind of the idea. Now the mayors were driving through, but you're going to see most of the entries line the route, and you guys came through on Big Red like...
like we always do.
Yeah, like you always do. But see, there are the entries for the parade, but they're on the sidewalk.
Yes, our
as
showgirls.
opposed to going down the street and everybody else watching. So, but it was that way people could do it. They could be in the safety of their vehicles, and it was a great way to have the parade, but do it safely. And so we had to think out of the box.
We did. Yeah. We did think out of the box. And again, like you said, our El Dorado parade started in the 1930s. So it was very, very important that we did it. And we weren't sure if we were going to be 100% open. So the city of Las Vegas got creative, and this is what the turnout was. And it was really fabulous. It was really, really spectacular.
Yeah, so instead of riding on the floats, you see they're just along the side there, and people could drive by in their cars, and everybody still waved.
Cool.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah.
A great turnout for it, too.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. And again, a little different.
But we got it done.
We did.
We had a El Dorado parade.
Exactly.
At the end of COVID.
Right, and that's an accomplishment after the last 14 months that we've had. So, and then that same day, you celebrated the latest documentary about the city of Las Vegas. This is the city of Las Vegas, the 30s. Now, we've already done the first one and then the 20s. Now the 30s previewed. You're with the mayor that night for the preview of the world premiere.
And everyone can see it.
It is.
Yes.
We share it here on Channel 2.
Yes.
And, of course, it's on YouTube as well.
And first, I have to tell you guys, it's kind of like Netflix with episodes. Listen, there's only 3 right now, and they're only a little over an hour.
That's right.
So they should watch them now, and they're going to be amazed.
They're really good.
They're going to be amazed on how Las Vegas was built. Everyone thinks it started with gangsters. Well, it didn't. It didn't start with gangsters. It just started with our locals.
Exactly, with a bunch of folks that wanted to carve out a life in the Mojave Desert, believe it or not. And here we are.
An oasis in the desert.
Exactly, exactly. These documentaries, Councilwoman, you're spot on. You can see these on YouTube. We've got them there. Of course, you can watch them on Channel 2 here as well. But the first episode that came out, that was the founding of the city, basically. It's had well over 1 million views already. So, and we're on track for episode 2, the 20s, to outpace that, and we're confident the 30s will too.
Without a doubt.
You and I were talking about this before we began the show, but what's nice is when you look back at, we've got a lot of old film now, moving pictures, versus the first one was pretty much still pictures or even artist renditions of what was going on, but now you can actually see film of what people were doing.
Without a doubt. And the 40s and 50s, as that comes up and starts getting filmed, I think it's going to be extremely popular. The gangsters started coming in and really making Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I think that should have been stamped back then. But I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, the council and the Centennial Commission basically uses the funds from the sale of our Centennial license plates for historic projects. And what they earmarked some of this money for was these documentaries. So the council has given the thumbs up, and so we've got the 20s, the 30s, and the 40s, and the 50s on the way.
Yes.
40s and 50s on the way too.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be very exciting. And our Madam Mayor loves history.
She does.
Loves the history, loves to teach the history. And she was there at the 30s giving a great speech, and it's just amazing. And I really cannot wait till we actually start filming when Oscar was actually quite involved with our mobster, Oscar Goodman, our former mayor. That's going to be quite exciting.
Well, these documentaries, you guys, are very, very well done. If you've not seen them, what Councilwoman said is really spot on, too. They're only about an hour, a little over an hour, so it's not like you're going to have to spend, 2 and 3 hours kind of getting caught up on the history of Las Vegas. Plus, it's very well done. It's not just a bunch of facts.
No.
It's how the community grew and evolved and the personalities that were involved.
Absolutely.
And it's really well done.
It
so
is.
You'll enjoy it.
Yep.
All right. And then, Councilwoman, you had posted this on Facebook. I thought this was great. You said, today is National Missing Children's Day. This day is dedicated to encouraging parents, guardians, caregivers, and others concerned with the well-being of children to make child safety a priority. And I know that's been something that's been near and dear to you.
It has. And when you talk with my children and my grandchildren, my grandchildren call me Nona, which is grandma in Italian. It's, I've been a helicopter since my first child was born. So I hover and hover and hover over my children and grandchildren. Safety is everything. it's a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye, a child goes missing, and you really have to be on guard at all the time, everywhere.
Some of the things we just showed in that video, those were descriptions of missing children. You guys have featured those at the end of council meetings. That's been a tradition that's gone on for a while to try to help locate some of these kids. And it's always perplexing to me. It's like, what happened? You know, what happened in that child's life that led them to all of a sudden now be missing?
Yes.
It's a tough one to
It's a
swallow.
tough one.
Yeah.
And I really, I'm constantly, you know, when you think about peace, you think about world peace, and you think about just peace in general, it starts at home. I mean, if our neighborhoods can't get along, we're never going to get world peace. It starts at home. So these children, and being a parent is the biggest and most important job anyone will ever have, no matter what. Being a mother and being a father, it's the most important job.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No,
no,
it's not easy.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's probably the most important thing anyone will ever do.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, that's a perfect segue into the fact that, hey, we've been celebrating Father's Day around this time, you know, so the show airs over the week of Father's Day.
Yes, you know, and it's great. I'm glad that it's airing over Father's Day, because my father is very, 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 very special, because again, it is June, so it's Pride Month, which is the LGBT month, and my mom is gay. So people go, well, your mom's gay, you know, how'd she have you? Well, because, you know, when she was 19 and my dad and her used to hang out just as friends, you know, and you know, boys, they're like, listen, just, you know, let's try it and you won't be gay. So, you know, so she tried it once and she said, honey, I'm gay. Like, you know, I'm gay. So, but I want to, my dad is in heaven, and, but here's a picture of him, and we're the same. We have the same face. There's no denying my father and I. And, you know, I just want to wish all fathers happy Father's Day. It's important to be a dad. I have 2 son-in-laws who have, you know, given me 7 grandchildren, and being a dad is very, very, very important. And both of my son-in-laws are quite active with my grandchildren.
You've got a great family. Yeah, you're very tight knit and always doing stuff together. So, well, you know, it's interesting that you say that, Councilwoman. My dad, who's also passed away, had told me when I was younger that you really don't start living until you have your own child. That's when you become a parent.
Yes.
All of a sudden, now your life really takes on a whole new meaning. Yes. And I never really understood what he meant until I became a dad myself. Right. And it's like, you know, Dad, I got what you were saying. I get it now.
And it's true, because both of my daughters, both of them, say, oh my God, Mom, you know, when we were kids, we thought you were crazy. You'd come to the school, you'd yell at the teachers, you know, you wouldn't let us play in the front yard. You thought we were going to get snatched up. You know, we just thought you were insane. And now they're doing the same thing.
Sure.
They're doing the same thing.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
and now
we turn into our parents. It's going to happen to all of you.
I know. And my daughters go, oh my God, Mom, I sound like you. I'm scaring myself. I'm like, well, welcome to motherhood.
There you go. Yeah. That's the way this works. Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Well, Councilwoman, of course, we talked about your dad. We're going to talk about your mom, too, here. You posted this on Facebook. You said, Happy Pride Month. We love our LGBTQ community more than words can say. And you've always been very supportive of your mom and her entire community.
Yes, I have to tell you, because think about this, David. You know, when I was 5, I was in Manhattan. 1975, it was a gay pride parade, but I didn't know it was a gay pride parade. My mom just said, we're going to go have a party, right? And it was a big party. I mean, there was a lot of people like waving rainbow flags around. And you got to think about a little 5-year-old girl. Rainbows are great. I mean, you know, we have the rainbow Care Bears. I mean, we have rainbow everything. So I literally didn't understand, but I had such a great time. And my mom always taught me, never be ashamed of who you love, never be ashamed of, and I get it, you know, as an adult and as I grew up, you get it. So I really thank my mom for being a pioneer. I mean, back in 1975.
Yeah, different time
gay
for her.
Was not popular. Gay was not popular. And my mom, even though she's the tough girl, she is such a princess. Oh my Lord. That's where I think I get it from. But she is an amazing woman, a pioneer and strong, and raised me to accomplish whatever I wanted.
Well, it was folks like your mom
Yes.
who helped bring us to today, where the understanding, the acceptance is far different from 1975. You know?
Yeah, and you know, and people think politics plays into it, and it doesn't, because my mom is a lifelong Democrat. A lesbian who raised a heterosexual, you know, from one lesbian came me, 2 daughters, 7 grandkids. I mean, you understand? So it's like, and she raised me to be conservative. So you have, and she's had 5 wives, so she was a Casanova. Not all at the same time, thank God. But I think that's what caused all the divorces, because she was a Casanova in her day. And you know, and she is who she is, and I'm proud of her. Well, and I think, Councilwoman, you have always said, you know, you love who you want to love. You know, that's always, you know, that's the way it is. So, well, congratulations to your mom on Pride Month and for pioneering such an important change in our country over these years. And Councilwoman, it's not quite as big a deal as Pride Month, but we also had International Museum Day. We did.
And I didn't know this, but of course, we have many great museums. This is the Natural History Museum. Of course, we've got Mom Museum, Neon Museum, Children's Discovery Museum, here into the Atomic Museum. But one of your staffers used to work at this museum, right? That's right. Yeah. This is such an important museum for Ward 6, because a lot of the bones that we're finding are mammoth bones. All of the are out there. So we have a huge protected area, and I toured this historic museum, and Chris-Ann, who now works with us, worked there, and she was so cool. Right? And going on the tour, and I kept asking her, so what do you do? What do you do? And I said to myself, I left that museum, and I said, I'm going to steal her. And you did. And I did. Yeah, I sure did. Well, I think we're going to see a picture of Chris-Ann coming up here before the end of this little video segment. But there she is right there. Yeah. But amazing facility, and it's funny, when I came to town, that was one of the few museums that we had. Boy, not anymore. We've got world-class museums that have popped up everywhere else, too. So it's exciting to see. You know, it is exciting. And I have to tell you, I'm just going to be biased for a minute, because the Mob Museum is, I probably frequent the Mob Museum down in their speakeasy down in the basement, because I love old fashions, and they make the best old fashioned. So if y'all just want to come and have a drink with me, just email me and say, hey, meet me at the speakeasy, and I'll be there. Jonathan Ullman, who's the director, I love him. He'll be happy. I love him. Happy to hear that. Yep. But we've come a long way. I think since and this was Oscar Goodman. Yeah, Oscar Goodman. Remember, Oscar Goodman fought on the council for this, and we got it, When Oscar Goodman came into office, then followed by his wife Carolyn Goodman, that's when all of a sudden the number of museums, this type of thing really started to ramp up here. And, everything really exploded. Yeah. And so the Mob Museum, where you like to go, named one of the top 20 museums in the United States. Yeah. Neon Museum, also one of the top museums in the United States. Of course, we have Children's Discovery Museum. Yeah. And then the old standbys, like the Natural History Museum, too. It's still a great place to go visit. Oh, it's a fabulous place. And it's wonderful for children. Exactly. It's a wonderful educating museum. It is. And Councilwoman, that International Museum Day was back May 18th, and then on June 5th, we celebrated National Trails Day with a big cleanup out at Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs and the area all around it. So yeah, and I have to tell you, our parks director, Greg Weitzel, participates. He's such a great guy. And we had our intern Hunter from South Carolina there, and Chance was there that weekend. I know they had me off doing something else. So because I have a team of 4, we get to accomplish quadruple things. Councilwoman, tell everybody out there, these pictures look kind of nice because they're flying over in the drone, but there was a lot of trash that was collected. I mean, it's a staggering number. There's a ton of trash, tons of trash, and the trash is years old. I'm talking 10, 20, 30 years old. I think we have finally come to a point where our cleanup campaign is starting to take notice, where people are littering less. And I'm going to tell you, the other day in my own little cul-de-sac, and there's only 13 little houses in my cul-de-sac,
there was a truck driving out of the gate, and he threw a bottle cap out.
No.
Oh, I said, hello, you stop and get out of that truck right now and pick that up. And he did. Now, I'm sorry that I had to be so curt. However, you got to teach him, you can't do that.
No,
you cannot litter.
Well, especially, it's bad enough in a neighborhood where people live, but out in our public lands that are so beautiful.
And they think it's a dumpster.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, amazing, and we just want to thank all the people that come out on those, the volunteers. They're just so great. They'd get out there, roll up their sleeves, spend a day in this heat, picking up trash and helping clean
it's
things up.
hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
And it's
It is hot. So thank you so much, everyone that took part. And wasn't as hot, but also took place since you were on the show last. This is very cool. The Bluegrass Festival returned to Centennial Hills Park. Couldn't do it last year because of COVID. Everything got canceled. But we had it this year. You're gonna chuckle because we had everybody kind of socially distanced in little pods out there.
Yeah.
But we got to have it.
We got to have it. We got a lot of local vendors out there, a lot of locals out there. And next year it'll be even better because we won't have the pods. We'll be together. We'll be dancing. But at least we got to have it, and we're starting back with all of our shows and all of our great things, and so I mean, this is an experience to show we could do it. We can do it safely, and I think everyone really appreciated the day.
And the fact that we got to see everybody socially distanced, they're in
little
their own
pods,
their own little place there. But it worked.
It worked,
and we could have the event safely and still figure out a way to have it come together. So, and again, a year ago, this was canceled. Well, we're back. There it is. And look at that great video.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Shot by our own Steve Horlock here at Channel 2. That's just gives you a great perspective of the event, of the vendors that came out.
Yeah, and they're great. And these vendors all have natural stuff like handmade soap, homemade and handmade soap. Just great stuff. Homemade jewelry. Just good stuff.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance
Organic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to experience the Bluegrass Festival, a lot of fun, great music, and just a great experience all the way around.
Yeah.
And as Councilwoman says, we'll be able to do it without the little pods next year, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Councilwoman, another upcoming event we're very stoked about is the fireworks display, 4th of July, out at Floyd Lamb Park. Couldn't do that last year because of COVID. But we'll be able to do it this year.
We're going to do it bigger than we've ever done it. And let me tell you something. Our 4th of Julys are big. This year, we're going to have a ton of food trucks. We're going to have tons of presents, tons of different spaces at Floyd Lamb Park. We're going to have the most spectacular fireworks show in the Valley. And we're probably going to have about 10,000 guests.
Wow.
This will probably be my biggest party. My last 4th of July, we expected 4,000. We got 7,000. So this year, we'll probably have about 10,000.
I bet you're right because people are really ready to get out and experience again. And so I have a hunch that you're going to have a big crowd. And folks, we love when she does this because so often we get complaint after complaint. People shoot off illegal fireworks in their neighborhoods, hitting the neighbors' houses, catching their trees on fire, sometimes catching their houses on fire, injuring people.
Yes.
Don't do that this year. Come on
They don't need to. Because I have all the illegal fireworks.
Exactly. And we're doing it legally. We got the fire department out there. We know how to do it, You're going to see better fireworks and it's going to be safe.
Yeah, it's the best fireworks show ever.
Yeah, so come on out. That's 4th of July evening.
Yeah.
Floyd Lamb Park at Tule Springs, about dusk. As the sun
about
goes down.
dusk.
Yeah. I'd love to have you come out for that. And then, I want to tell everybody, if you're not aware of this, we have what's known as a lip-smacking foodie tour in Las Vegas. More than one, I think, too.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So it's called the Lip-Smacking Foodie Tour. You can Google it. And what they do is they go all over the city and they take you to the finest restaurants. It's a set price. You get to taste the finest foods, the finest drinks, the finest desserts. And my team and I do a quarterly team building. So we joined up with the Lip Smacking Foodie Tour, and it was amazing. Now, you and I, with my two daughters, are going to join up in the next month for the Lip Smacking Foodie Tour downtown.
Yeah, the downtown
and
version.
And we'll film it to show everyone.
Yeah, and you know, I was saying, we'd done this in New York, and it was a food tour, and it was a great experience.
Yeah.
I thought, a food tour? Okay, I'm game.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
It was
I'm
fantastic.
just so glad to see that Las Vegas is doing the same kind of thing now.
And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The founder, Don, I met him through the LVCVA. We were in another country, and we were talking about it, and I thought, wow, what a great idea. And then we wanted to do it, and then COVID happened.
Yep.
So we did it. Our team did it together, and now we're going to do the downtown, and we'll have the city do it with us, and it's just going to be fabulous.
It's a great way to showcase the restaurants, the businesses that we have in our community. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So, and hope everybody gets out and we can go frequent them again now,
Yes.
and they're fully opened, and unlike the last 14 months. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Yes.
Well, Councilwoman, this has been a great show. Unfortunately, we're running out of time here, but want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Fiore, you can find her on Facebook and Twitter. You can also just contact her by picking up the phone. We still do that, 702-229-6405, or send her an email. Her address is mfiore@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get right back to you on that. You guys always do. You're always very responsive to what's going on, not just in your ward. People have questions. Sometimes they don't know what ward they're in, but you guys still point them in the right direction.
We do. So our staff is not allowed not to respond.
Right, I know. That's a hard and fast rule. I know that.
Yeah.
So. Well, Councilwoman, great job. We'll have you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 6. We're going to have the fireworks by then, and everything else will be exciting. We'll have to give everybody a little taste of that as well.
It's going to be fun.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
Great job. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. We want to thank you for being with us. Our next show starts airing on June 24th with Ward 1 City Councilman Brian Knutson. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.